This tutorial covers variables and numeric data types so that we can store numeric values to memory location so that we can use it later on. Create a new project with our main class. Okay, let me create one class called variable. So the idea of a variable is to store data in a memory location. So let me create one main method. Start with public static void main string arguments. So that you can run your Java program later on. It means you need at least one main methods in your Java program. Let's look at the number one. Number one is actually integer. It needs at least 1 byte using Java programming language or 8 bits. So let me write it down. 8 zeros means 8 bits. And if you look at here, according to binary code, if you write it down, number one means 0000001. If you look at numeric value 10, we can say that that's the 2 power of 1. That's the 2 power of 4. So 2 plus 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. So we can express the number 10 in binary format using 8 bits, which is 00001010. Okay, that's how the numeric values presented in memory. It's quite difficult to remember the memory location, so that we like to name it as a variable. In other words, we may have a reference to that numeric value number 1. We could use int a equal to 1, int b equal to 10. Means we save the integer value number 1 to variable called a, and then number 10 to variable called b. Data type is int, stands for integer. So we are going to use a system output, standard output device with the printArea method so that we can see the output. So here we are using variable called a and b that refers to the binary code holding an integer value number and 1 and 10 in our memory locations. So basically we have integer value number 1 and 10, and that assigned to variable a and b. Then we printed our standard output device, which is your console. So we have a number 1 and 10. I will explain about numeric data types later on. Okay, let's look at naming conventions. So when you declare variable a and b, there are certain conventions we need to follow. The first one is again inconsistent for now, but so-called meaningful and descriptive names. Like if you're looking for area of something, you may say areas instead of saying A and B. You can maybe say age. Second one is we use letters. You mean alphabetic letters, like A, B, C, D. You can use the digits and the underscores. You can also use dollar signs, like word programming languages. Personally, I don't recommend you to use digits and the dollar signs in when you declare a variable, but you can actually use it. So area 10, which is possible, but I don't recommend. Area code, which is also okay, but again, I don't recommend it. Area and the dollar signs, that is okay, which still I don't recommend it. Whenever it's possible, use only lowercases. Do not start with capitalized character or capitalize all. That actually means constant, so for the variables, use lowercase only. So when you name it like area code, sometimes you have to use more than one single word. So you may prefer to use lowercase or start with the lowercase, then capitalize next word, like a compute area. Compute start with the lowercase area, capitalize at the beginning or the first character. Okay, let me quickly demonstrate one variable called age. We will store age between maybe 0 to 100. So I declare as an integer, which is int data type. So I say system println age. You don't have to compile all the time, okay? So just run it. So that's the one to 20 years old. So we know the variables you can store numeric values. There are many different numeric data types. So let me cover it one by one. So I think better create a new class here. I will type it as numeric data types. Again, one Java application project, you can have multiple classes. That's okay. So here, numeric primitive data types. I will start with the smallest numeric data type called byte. Next one is short. And most common, int stands for integer. Then long, which is a long integer. The next one is dealing with the floating points. Float and then double, which is also floating points. So if you deal with decimal points, you may use floats or double. So let me deal with the first one called byte. Again, let me create a main method so that I can demonstrate for you. Okay, the first one is byte data type. Again, byte data type has only 1 byte storage size. It means 128 minus or negative 128 include 0 and then positive number 127. Okay, at least the bytes will quickly demonstrate to you how we end with negative 128 to positive number 127 include 0. Sorry, it's 1 byte. Okay, byte type, it takes 1 byte of 1 byte storage size. We know that 1 byte means it's 8 digits. So let me write it down, 8 zeros. Says the lowest number, everything can be 0. Or highest number, we can all change to 1 or ones. So if you look at here, binary code 2 to the power of 8, which gives you 256. That means we should be able to have 256 up to 256 4 digits. We are talking about integer here, so if you're looking at the integer, we have a positive number, negative number, include 0. So by convention, we divide by 2. That means it's going to be minus 128, lowest negative number, include 0, and the positive number up to 127, because we use 1 space for 0. If we count it all, minus 128, 127, all the way to 0, then positive number 127 is going to use 256 digits. Or we can say 256. That's the maximum number we can use for with the byte data type. Okay, it looks better that way. Okay. Negative 128 all the way to 127 positive include 0. So if we count it, it's a 256. That means 1 byte data type can express as little as negative 128 or 0 and up to positive number 127. Otherwise, it will be out of range. Okay. Okay, I will demonstrate to you again. It doesn't make sense to you at this point. So let me create one variable with a byte data type. Age is 20. So again, 20 years old is straightforward. System print ln. So if we consider this a human, 20 years old, it's okay. If you remember program design, we should have input, process, and output. We are not processing anything at this point, so let me just say output 20 years old. But if you consider something else, for example, trees or something, some animals actually live more than 128 years old, for example, 200. So if you choose the data type of bytes and try to save a positive number over 127, you won't be able to do so. That means you choose the wrong data type. So if you want to save 200, you should consider a short data type. So error message will appear on the NetBeans, say incompatible type. It recommends you to use int rather than bytes data type. So if we change back to minus 128, that is okay because it's up to 128. Again, you won't be able to save it 128 to age variable. Is what I call it as outside the range. So let's look at here different primitive data types. The first one is a byte, which is the smallest one. It takes 1 byte. Next data type, let's say 8 bits. Okay. Next one is 2 bytes. That means you can use up to 16 bits. So you can guess that number will be a lot bigger. So here 128 minus negative include 0 and then positive number 127. Or you can consider a binary code, 2 bytes. If we calculate it as 18 bits, it's going to give you minus 32,768 and the positive number 32,767. Don't forget include 0. Int use 4 bytes, long use 8 bytes, and the float with the decimal points use 4 bytes. Double use 8 bytes. So at the beginning, if you are not sure, general rule is if you don't have to use a decimal point for integer data types, you may prefer to use int data type. Okay, that's the range. If you have to deal with decimal points, I recommend you to use a double data type dealing with decimal points. Again, float is 7 up to 7 decimal digits. Double is up to 16 decimal digits. Again, integer, it might be the best for dealing with the integer values for int. If you're dealing with the decimal points, I recommend you to use double. If you major computer science or IT, you should try to calculate it at least once so that you can get a clear idea about the different types of numeric data types. Again, floating points, personally I don't recommend you to use it. Whenever it's possible, try to use a double data type if you have to deal with numbers with decimal points. Also, it's good to know assignment operator, which is equal signs, or looks like equal sign. So line number 29 say we declare variable called age as a byte type. We assign default value 20 at the beginning, or you can write it down as a two separate sentences or statements. Result will be same. So line 30 say we declare variable with default value 0. Line 31 we assign new value. Okay, now you may be able to use different types of numeric data types. Let me demonstrate with numerical operators, because often you use a variable to do some sort of calculations. So it's good to know numerical operators so that you can add numbers or subtract or multiply or divide by certain numbers, or you can do reminder as well. It's what we call it as numeric operators. Again, many of them I already covered. Again, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Again, here is something new called reminder. I'm using single line comments a lot, so please ignore those two slash is just comments. So example is 34 plus 1 is going to give you 35. Subtraction, sorry for minus 1, sorry 3. Let me make some indentation. Multiplication here. It will give you 40. So make sure you put some space between operator and operand, so it will be a lot easier to read than without space. Again, 0.5. Okay, indentation for you. 20 divided by 3, so multiply by 8, so remainder will be 2. So let me create maybe 3 variable, which is not very useful name, but let's say for simplicity I say ABC. 200, sorry, and then result I will save it to C, so I will initialize with 0. So A plus B, after calculation, I will assign result to C, variable C. Then I would like to print the output C. So A plus B means 200 plus 30. So variable refers to those two values. So 170. Here, if I multiply, it's going to give us 600. Sorry, 6,000. If we divide by 30, it's going to give you 6. And then the last one is reminder, 20. So int is most popular integer data type. If you have to deal with decimal points, and we can use double. So I will change to double. Double means we can use decimal points. Again, nothing changed, everything is the same, but this time the output will show you decimal points. Okay. That's more. Thank you.